Thank you. Well, this talk will be in English, even if I am Argentinian. Next time, I think I will learn Portuguese better. So basically, this talk is about expectation and challenges in the blockchain and decentralization space. Like everybody's talking about blockchain and decentralization, and there are a lot of expectations around them, but well, there are also challenges that make it difficult or take time to solve to be there, basically. So we will first start with expectations in the banking and the financial industry in general. We all use everyday messaging application in our mobile phone. We send messages, we send videos, audio, but why can't we not send money with less friction in the same way that we use our messengers there? That's one of our expectations regarding a financial system in the blockchain and decentralization space. So we are not sure why we need banks for everything, but we need to pay like high commissions to send money from one place to another if we are just connected by internet. We also don't know why we need to be accredited investors. Here in Brazil, you need to be an accredited investors to handle some kind of investment. So we don't know why we need to do that, why we need to be accredited investors to fund projects, because we can spend, for example, $1,000 crowdfunding a campaign for some specific project. We cannot do that, but what we can do is like go to the casino and lose this $1,000, and nobody is restricting us to do that. So we would like to have the freedom to move money around the world, obviously to reduce terrorism, to reduce illegal activities, but we think that currently the regulations are a little bit strict, okay, for doing these easy daily tasks. So another thing is commerce. Commerce, basically, we have a consolidation in commerce. We know Mercado Libre, Amazon, and other brands from Brazil. Basically, they can control their commissions, okay? If their business go well and they have more power, they can increase the commissions. Well, we can envision a decentralized platform where buyers and sellers match each other, okay? And we can remove intermediaries from that markets. Messaging currently, like the top messaging platform, are controlled by single companies, where we don't know if they are really encrypting our information there. We cannot control them because they are closed source. And also they dictate who is working on those platforms and who is sending messages. They can control also the identities. In general, the identities of the messaging platforms are connected by our mobile phones, and we cannot have a way to have identities outside that. For example, even with WhatsApp, we need the mobile phone to use the application in the desktop computer. So we would like to have open platforms where we can see, we can review the security of the platform, and we can control how we interact with them, and everyone can interact with them. Media, well, currently there is a friction between, a conflict between advertisers, content creators, and the platform itself, because, for example, in YouTube, you need like a lot of user views, likes, etc., to earn money, okay? Because they generally YouTube take a big cut of this portion. Well, we can envision platforms where the advertisers' money go directly to the part of the platform, to fund the platform, or part to the content creators. Mobility, well, we have many companies in the mobility space. Instead of having one application for example, Uber, and then we have another application for Cabify or other mobility companies, we can have a single application where we can match and connect drivers with users. In social media, well, we have like a lot of censorship, okay, in social media that many times is a censorship where it's politically oriented. So we can think of platforms where we can speak, we have free speech and speak aloud about issues that concern us, okay, without anyone controlling what we put in those platforms. Health, well, we don't have like a standard, a worldwide standard that is used for our medical records. In a way, we are not owner of our medical records. Sometimes we go to a doctor and the doctor doesn't synchronize the information with our mobile phone, so we need to ask the doctor for the medical records ourselves. So we need to have a way to synchronize between all the medical records institution and have the permission or give or remove the permission to use this information, okay, to the health industry. But, well, and there is another interesting thing that we can earn extra money if we free our information to some companies, so they investigate about new drugs, okay? Well, we cannot do that now except with complex bureaucracy. Energy, well, now we are, before all these green energy initiatives came, in general we were consumers of energy, not producers. Now with these green energy initiatives, we can be also a producer of energy, so we need a free market to buy and sell energy, okay? And blockchain and decentralization platforms are a solution to that. Gaming, well, now, for example, it's illegal if you are a good game player, you cannot sell your user account, okay, to another people. That's against the license terms. So with these decentralization technologies, we can have also a market to sell and buy our own account. Why not? And also, we have a way to move and port our application assets, our game assets, to other games. And tourism, well, basically, we have like many companies that are using different miles programs. We cannot exchange those miles between these companies. So we can think that this is trivial to connect the points from one to another and use them everywhere. Even we can use those points to buy stuff in commerce. And government and law, well, basically we have a lot of corruption, we know that. And currently, because of bureaucracy and because of corruption, we cannot trace the origin or the records of that illegal actions, because there is no way to see how they store the record, because they can change the record anytime, okay? So with blockchain, we can have immutability, and what we can do is like trace those records to the origin. Well, now about challenges. One is the top challenges of blockchain technology is about scalability. Now blockchains are slow, so they cannot, for example, tolerate the number of transactions that are used for the everyday commerce in the world. So we need to work on that, and we need to work in maybe new layers to speed up the blockchain. Security, security is critical because now all your money that is in the blockchain is connected to a private key, which is basically a file. If that file is uncovered or someone steals it, it has access to all your funds. So this is critical because it's like the weakest point, and it's also complex to handle all the custody of crypto assets. For example, if you divorce, well, how these assets can be divided, or if you die, how can this give to your heirs? Oracles, well, blockchains work well when they work within the protocol system, but when they interact with external world, for example, there are systems about insurance. How can the blockchain know if there was an accident or not? Well, they need external devices or external people to give information about that. Well, that gives like a security problem. Decentralized identity, well, currently the identity is centralized in general in our governments. Well, we need to find ways to have decentralized identity that is portable from one place to another, okay? And an identity that is connected to different information about us, where we can give some information but protect others, and we have the permissions to control that, not the government. Well, price volatility, many blockchains are connected to tokens or to native assets. There is a high volatility. For example, if you have followed EOS, Bitcoin, Ethereum, or many other cryptocurrencies, they are moving up and down, and nobody indeed knows where they are going. So to use this as an asset for exchanging goods, we need like more stable assets. And well, adoption and acceptance schemes. Well, now one of the problems of blockchain is about the adoption. Okay, we need, because people now can use obviously their debit card or their credit card everywhere. Why do they need blockchain? Okay, so we need to have like ways to seduce users to use blockchain and to give a benefit, obviously. UX UI, if someone had used a wallet before, well, they need to create a wallet, they need to back up the keys, put the keys in a safe store. Well, that's a lot of friction for users. So we need ways to use blockchain and decentralized system that is the same way that we use Instagram, Facebook, and many other apps that are popular. Well, and regulation, you know, like beyond what we agree on blockchain at the end, we need governments that give us like a way to use these technologies, because if not, obviously we can use that in a decentralized way, but there cannot never go mainstream. Well, transaction cost, like these blockchains, when they are like used a lot, they require some fees. Okay, if the price of the blockchain goes up, the price of the asset goes up, well, the transaction cost goes up. So we need to fix that. And dispute resolution, like for example, if we have a Mercado Libre or Amazon, which is decentralized, where how can we defend buyers and sellers from disputes? Well, okay, this is something that we need to do because these are problems that happen outside the blockchain. And governance, well, how all these teams that work on blockchain can agree on something, basically. If we don't have a way, well, there can be many forks of existing blockchains, okay, and there is no guidance about how to use them. So that's it. We will go to a panel now where we talk with 3 other blockchains.